here at the Walker Legacy Theater in Indianapolis, Indiana, as we close out a Juneteenth podcast for the ages. And I can think of no bigger way to close things out than with the big guy himself and our local host and CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Indiana. Juneteenth, legacy, 1863, Emancipation Proclamation, slaves were free, but not everybody was free. 1865, June 19th to be exact. That's why we call it Juneteenth. The folks in Galveston, Texas were informed that you are now free. We've come a long way, but we got a long way to go. In 1904, Big Brothers Big Sisters of America began. We are rooted and grounded in social justice, and our commitment to justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion is led by none other than the first Black CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of America. I am honored to be in the presence of greatness. Artis Stevens, thanks for being with us today, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. And the feeling goes mutual, man. I'm honored to be here with you as well.
And Darcy is our local host. Thank you. We've had your littles, big, some of your community partners. You are doing an excellent job here in Indianapolis.
Thank you. So happy to have everyone here.
Oh, thank you as well. Artis, Juneteenth.
Yes, sir.
We're here in the Madam C.J. Walker Legacy Theater. Gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Why is it so important?
Yeah, I think you just hit it for one, which is the historical significance of this celebration, this moment of people finding out that they were free, right? The idea of all of this time, right? 2 years had passed in terms of the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, and then you find out that you're free, right? That idea of freedom and expression and who we are. You know, but I always tell people something about Juneteenth that I think is a really powerful piece, because we do talk about the idea of the notification and finding out and the celebration, but there's something about stories. I was reading something about the stories from that point, and it was the idea that, yes, I was finding my freedom, but it was also the purpose and the journey that people took from that point, right? That the idea of freedom is not just the idea that I'm free, but it's the idea of the desire to follow my dreams, to follow my purpose, to follow things that I couldn't do before. That's why this moment's so significant, because it certainly marks a historic time in our country, but it also marks a time about people being able to find their journey and the essence of what this country is all about.
And what do you do next? You don't go from, okay, I'm enslaved, I've just been informed I'm free, let me go buy my first home.
That's right.
I mean, you think about the journey that we continue today as a federation, as Big Brothers Big Sisters of America.
Yeah.
And with that, we don't travel that journey alone, Darcy. You know, allyship is important along the way, not only through the Juneteenth, the slavery journey, but even diversity today. It cannot be accomplished with just everybody that looks like us. Talk about allyship and the power of it.
Yeah, well, I think that's so much a part of what Big Brothers Big Sisters stands for. And as someone who gets to be in the privileged spot of leading one of our Big Brothers Big Sisters affiliates, it means a lot to me, and it's something that I take very seriously, that I feel like I'm constantly leaning into, learning, growing, challenging myself to really make sure that I understand the real challenges that people face, the real injustices that people face, especially those young people that we get the honor to serve and support, and their families. But I think we really also work to harness our volunteers and our donors and so many people who are connected to this Big Brothers Big Sisters web and family, to encourage them and challenge them to learn and grow, and to listen, and to understand better, and to really, you know, take that understanding and do something meaningful with it.
I love that.
To advocate and act, and believe that people are really facing things that they shouldn't be facing, that we have to work to overcome together.
And we have to address those tension points. And we got to have vision. And so, Artis, as we think about a big, bold vision, one of the things I love about just your leadership and the short time we've known each other, and to sit and just really in this significant moment in history, but in light of recent events, in light of what the challenges that many families face that look to us, to your point, Darcy, that need our help. Talk to us about the big, bold vision for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yeah, well, the big, bold vision is all around growing our impact, right? And the idea of growing our impact is when you think about what's happened in this country. 13 million kids live in poverty, right? The idea of even during the height of the pandemic, 20% of our kids lost contact with a positive adult in their life. One in three kids don't have a mentor in this country, right? The idea for us is to be able to transform mentorship in this country, and there's no better organization that's equipped to lead this type of vision than Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, because you think about this network, 230 agencies, 5,000 communities served, right? The harness of the power of one-to-one relationships and the power of mentoring in general gives us an opportunity that anyone in this country can take individual action to make change. And that's really the power when we talk about social justice, right?
Yes.
And Darcy just hit it like incredibly well on one aspect of it, right? When you think about mentorship as an allyship forum, it's also a representation forum, right? When you think about 30,000 kids that are sitting on our waiting list today, most of those kids are boys, and most of those boys are boys of color, right? Imagine what we can do when those young people see people that look like them, that come from some of the same background, that are successful in all walks of life, right? If you can see it, you can be it.
Yes.
That's the experience that we want to create. And then that third angle for me that we talk about in our idea of what mentorship does and the platform it creates is youth empowerment and youth voice. It's not the idea of going to save a child. We don't believe in saviors, right? The true heroes are our kids, and mentors help to create the platform for their heroism, their values, their actions to truly take form, and not only to change their lives, but to change communities, then to change this country, and ultimately to change the world. That's the power of Big Brothers Big Sisters.
What I love about what you both are saying, our kids don't need to be fixed.
There you go.
Everybody needs support. Everybody needs a friend. Everybody needs guidance and support. And so that's the core and the essence of who we are and what we do. And I love, and we got to be intentional.
Yeah.
If people never see, and I've had those experiences. I had a little girl, a little black girl that saw me and saw a picture of me and said, that's not ours. Who is that? They said, that's a CEO. No, it's not. The first response was no.
That's
We're
right.
sitting here
Yep.
in amongst history. 1927, Walker Legacy Theater. A woman thought she could, and she did. So that next CEO needs to see Darcy and say, I can be a female CEO. That young brother needs to see Artis Stevens and know I can be a black male CEO and own it. And so as we move forward, last question for both of you, because I could talk to you both all day long. We're about to go into, there's some big things happening this week. You got a little sister that's singing, to Corey, right? And so she's been with your agency for, I think she said 10 plus years as well, right?
Yeah, I know from the state of Indiana, we have littles all joining us, and so it's been really exciting to see them represented here and centered here. That means a lot to all of us, I know.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And Artis, there's a gospel concert taking place less than an hour from now in this same theater.
That's right.
Now, I will say, a couple of days ago, Babyface, the stage is still probably, I'm still coming down, but let me tell you something, there's a gospel concert. And we talk about Juneteenth, we talk about soul, and we talk about where there's no vision, the people perish.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the significance of a gospel concert as part of our national conference.
Yeah, you know what one of the biggest pieces of, so people should know, or your viewers should watch. It's like, I'm the son of a preacher and the grandson of a preacher. So I know a lot about gospel concerts and gospel events. Karen Clark Shear, who's gonna be performing tonight,
Yes, sir.
like Clark Sisters was like our anchor growing up in the church. But here's why it's so significant, right? Gospel. The epicenter of the black community since slavery to civil rights to the moments of where we change and we make transformation, not just in religion, but in social action, has been the church, right? Has been the black church, has been the music that centered us and anchored us and helped us to convene and gave us spiritual growth. That's what the power is of why having this on Juneteenth and why having this anchored to our Congress, anchored to our conference, because this is about congregation, right? The idea of congregation is about convening and connection. So when we connect, the whole idea of having gospel, the power of connection, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, is the idea of connection of what we do every single day, the relationships we build, the community partners that we have, the volunteers and donors who come to support our mission, because we are more than anything else, a connector and a convener of changing lives. That's the power of what we bring every day. That's why it's so powerful about what we're doing tonight and the statement we're making to set off this conference.
Well, the only thing I can say to that is amen. You all are to be congratulated. I'm just looking forward to an incredible, your first national conference as our presidency artist. You have our full support, brother. And Darcy, what an incredible host you've already been. And I know it only gets bigger and better because that's what we do at Big Brothers Big Sisters. Thanks to our live audience and to all of you out there. When we think about the journey, the Juneteenth journey, from whether it's wade in the water or swing a low sweet chariot, they were on their way. And we as an organization, Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, under the leadership of Artis Stevens, is doing big things, a big, bold vision. Let's go.